Some of these scientists reportedly vanished, others were later found dead. For years, stories involving classified research, advanced aerospace programs, and secretive technology projects have existed mostly on the edges of public discussion. But recently, a growing number of people online began connecting a series of deaths and disappearances involving scientists, researchers, aerospace engineers, and individuals linked in various ways to advanced research programs. But the deeper people looked into the cases, the stranger the pattern appeared to become. One of the names most frequently discussed was Michael David Hicks. Hicks worked as a research scientist associated with NASA projects involving asteroid and planetary research. His work reportedly contributed to missions focused on tracking and studying objects moving through deep space. Then there was Frank Maiwald, a principal scientist linked to major NASA engineering programs and advanced space-related systems. Monica Jacinto Reza reportedly worked in advanced materials research connected to NASA projects before later being reported missing following a hiking trip in California. Nuno Loureiro was known within the scientific community for his work in plasma physics and fusion-related research connected to MIT. Amy Eskridge had become known online for discussions involving experimental propulsion concepts and unconventional aerospace theories. Other names connected to the wider discussion included Los Alamos staff members, former aerospace personnel, physicists, national laboratory employees, and retired military officials connected in various ways to advanced research environments. As more names appeared online, people began building timelines, photographs, employment histories, research specialties, missing persons reports, and reported circumstances surrounding the cases started spreading rapidly across social media, podcasts, forums, and video platforms. Some people saw coincidence. Others believed the similarities were becoming too unusual to ignore. And eventually, the discussion expanded beyond the individuals themselves. It became a much larger conversation about secrecy, advanced technology, government programs, and whether certain information may exist beyond public knowledge. Some online communities began connecting the story to advanced propulsion research, classified aerospace technology, national laboratories, black budget programs, and even long-running theories surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena. At the same time, skeptics argued that unrelated tragedies were simply being grouped together through internet speculation and pattern recognition. And that's where this story becomes genuinely difficult to navigate, because publicly available information has not definitively proven that these incidents are connected as part of one coordinated event. However, many people also argue that absence of public proof does not necessarily rule out the possibility of deeper connections, undisclosed information, or explanations that may simply not be fully known yet. That tension sits at the centre of the entire story. Some incidents were officially reported as suicides. Others were described as accidents, disappearances, medical events, or ongoing investigations. At the same time, many online discussions questioned whether all those explanations fully accounted for the surrounding circumstances. And throughout history, there have been cases where official explanations later changed as new information, technology, or evidence emerged over time. So for many people following this story, the real question is not necessarily, has something been conclusively proven, but rather, could there still be more to understand than what is currently known publicly? What also helped fuel the discussion was the growing involvement of mainstream reporting. Major outlets including the Associated Press, CBS News, The Guardian, Newsweek, and The Independent all covered aspects of the expanding narrative. That alone shifted the story beyond small internet forums and into wider public discussion. According to multiple reports, federal authorities, including the FBI, reportedly examined possible links surrounding some of the incidents connected to sensitive research environments and national laboratory personnel. Individual local investigations were also reportedly handled through different police departments and agencies connected to the specific cases themselves. At the same time, online discussions continued questioning whether the incidents were truly unrelated or whether deeper connections might still exist beneath the surface. Some political commentators and public figures also referenced the growing speculation surrounding advanced technology, national security, and unexplained scientist deaths, further amplifying public attention around the story. And once federal agencies, mainstream media outlets, and political figures became associated with mystery like this, the psychological weight of the story changes dramatically. Why are so many individuals connected in various ways to advanced scientific or aerospace environments appearing in the same online discussions? Why do these stories continue spreading so rapidly? And why does the possibility of hidden information feel believable to so many people today? Part of the answer may lie in the time we're living through now. Artificial intelligence is evolving rapidly. Governments around the world are investing heavily in advanced technology and defense systems. Public trust in institutions has weakened in many countries, and information itself has become increasingly difficult to separate from narrative, influence, speculation, and agenda. History also plays a role. There have been real classified programs throughout history that remain hidden from public knowledge for years, or even decades, before eventually becoming known. Because of that, many people no longer see secrecy itself as impossible. And once that mindset exists, stories like this gain enormous psychological power. At the same time, human beings are naturally driven to search for patterns. Sometimes those patterns reveal meaningful connections. Other times, unrelated events become woven together into something much larger through fear, uncertainty, timing, and emotion. And perhaps that's what makes this story so compelling. Not simply the deaths or disappearances themselves, but the uncomfortable possibility that modern society no longer fully trusts the systems responsible for explaining them. Maybe these incidents are ultimately unrelated tragedies amplified by the internet age. Maybe some details surrounding certain cases genuinely remain unresolved. Or maybe the full truth, whatever the truth may eventually be, is still incomplete. What do you believe? Is there more to these cases than we're being told?